Hi, it's Heather Clifford with eXp Realty here in the Comox Valley and the beautiful Campbell River area with your real estate market update for the end of August. And we're not at the end of summer. I know that because my birthday is the first day of autumn. So we still have 3 weeks ahead of us of summer, but we have had a crazy busy summer in real estate. And I'm just starting to feel the slowdown happening right now. I have put together a little bit of a presentation on what's been going on throughout the summer in the numbers, and I'd like to share my screen with you right now. Okay, let's get started with our market update for the end of August. The pictures that you're looking at here was from our customer appreciation barbecue that my husband and I hosted here at our home, The Last Resort. And yes, that admin guy was on the barbecue. We had a great time, and I'd like to share with you some of the things that we did at the end of this presentation. I always like to start out by giving a little shout out to Kelly O'Dwyer at the Vancouver Island Real Estate Board. And she always does a media release. And in her last release, she was saying pretty much what I was just saying. We're busier this summer than is typical despite rising interest rates. Now, she goes on to say after a rate increase is posted, clients tend to pull back and sit for a bit. 100% that is what has happened in June and July. Each time that interest rate went up, all of a sudden the market got very quiet. But then the next week, the buyers were back at the table and we were busy again. So that tends to be what happens. And yes, it holds true this time as well. She went on to say that sellers of higher end properties are sitting on a preconceived price they're expecting based on last year's numbers. And yes, that can be disheartening when the price of your home is down 11% and you're in the higher tier market. We're not down 11% anymore. We're sitting at about 4% over this time last year. However, some people get very attached to their properties, or it's harder to price properties today when you're talking about acreages, high-end properties, oceanfront properties, because they're all over the board right now. I see properties come on the market and I scratch my head and say, where did this price come from? So, and then I can be just as surprised and it sells. So things are all over the place. It comes down to what does the buyer perceive the value is for them, and if the seller agrees that they're going to sell their house at that price. And a property that sits on the market, if they don't come down in price, will get stale and usually does not sell. So our market is shifting, and the properties that have been sitting for a long time, they might just come off as expired listings or canceled listings and try again maybe next year or in a few months. In our real estate news headlines, I was really excited to hear John and Max sold the largest sale in Whistler at $32 million. And actually it was $40 million because the buyer also purchased the lot next door. And both John and Max, I was their managing broker when I was up in Whistler. I was there for over 25 years. So it's near and dear to me. And congratulations to both you, John and Max. I was also reading this week in the Realtor.ca, the Korea economist talking about the interest rate effect. And we all know each time that interest rate goes up, our buyers can afford less. And it does shock the market. It stalls the market. We are expecting another rate increase before the end of the year. And that too is a little shocking, especially for our variable rate holders and for the people's line of credit. The other thing that is starting to happen is a lot of homeowners have to refinance their home. And when they do that, they're going to be affected by the higher interest rate. And I'm sure it is scaring the bejesus out of a lot of homeowners that rate is coming up for renewal. So that definitely will take an effect on our real estate market. This will yet be seen as it happens. We do still have an enormous amount of buyers that are looking to relocate here in the Comox Valley or Campbell River area. And so that is fueling our real estate market. It is keeping our prices steady as well. I took a little screenshot of the British Columbia Real Estate Association presentation last week. I know that a lot of you like to look at the different areas and where the average prices are, besides just here on Vancouver Island. So you can stop the presentation at any time and have a further look. Remember that Victoria went over the $1 million mark earlier this summer. Prices are still very strong in that market as well. Here's our little snapshot so you can kind of look back from May, June, and July. And what you're looking at in our benchmark pricing on detached houses is a slight increase every single month. So our market is not going south yet. We'll see what comes out when the statistics are released next week for August. But as you can see here, we have a house market that is bumped up about $8,000 over May to June, and then again another $10,000 from June to July. Let's look at how long it's taking a property to sell. It is still about the same amount of time, just over 30 days. And 30 days because you usually have 2 to 3 weeks of subjects on the property. We're not getting into those crazy markets where people are just buying homes without any subjects. So you have to take into consideration that 30 to 40 day period also has subjects for the buyer to remove. Our benchmark prices here on the Vancouver Island Real Estate Board throughout the communities, you can see that every single market over last month went up again. So in Campbell River, the benchmark price of a single family home is $669,000. Now it says it's down 5% from the previous year. But remember back when I was doing the market update in January and February, we were down 11%. So this is how much our market has regained strength in both the Comox Valley and the Campbell River area. Here is a snapshot going back July 1 month, then 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. You can even go back 5 years. And I think it's kind of fun to look at the numbers and look at where we have come from. We still have a very, very strong market in both Campbell River and the Comox Valley. And remember, you can stop this presentation and have a closer look. However, I can also email you all the statistics as they come out monthly. If you just want to send me a private message, you can give me your email address and I'll put you on the list with many other people that love to review all the statistics that our board puts out monthly. I had asked my buyers that purchased in the Comox Valley and in the Campbell River area, what was their deciding factor? And one of the things that rings true every time I talk to a buyer is the affordability. And we seem to think that our areas have really become unaffordable. And yes, they are unaffordable for a lot of people, but when you're coming from an area where real estate prices are even higher, then we still look affordable here in the Valley and Campbell River. And we also have something that is less traffic, safer communities. We have mountains and rivers and the ocean, and we have a beautiful place to call home. Who are our buyers? Right now, I'm working with primarily a lot of younger people and just a few people that are moving in from other area as retirements. So we've got the young families coming to grow here in our communities, to go to our schools, and to fill some of the jobs that are really badly needed right now, especially in the health sector. I know I was asking my niece when I took her for lunch yesterday, who is working in the facilities in the seniors home where she works. And she said, right now we have not a lot of out of country workers, but a lot of people that are doing this travel nursing right now. Here's a little snapshot. And the reason I like this snapshot is not for the new listings. We can see that new listings are slowing down a little bit. This is a week view from July to a week view in August. But one of the things that's really noticeable is the number of solds that have happened in the last week. Look at that compared to where we were in July. And that's because, remember I said how busy June and July were? Well, when something is accepted and then subjects are removed, that's called pending. But when it closes, that's sold. And that usually takes 30 to 60 days, sometimes 90 days if there's tenants involved. And so you can see how busy June and July were to give August those numbers for solds. The other thing that is happening right now is we are displacing a lot of people that are renters. I have just done 6 sales where we have had to give legal notice to the tenants because the buyers are going to move into the properties. And that displaces a lot of people, and it's harder to find a place to rent today. So that maybe that will spur some investors that are thinking of buying real estate to hold, because there are a lot of people looking for places to live out there as a renter. Here's our condo market, a quick little snapshot. We are up just a little bit over last month in Campbell River, and we are also up a little bit in the Comox Valley over last month as well. So our benchmark price in Campbell River is $342,800, and in the Comox Valley for an apartment or condo, the benchmark price is $377,400. In our townhouse market, we are looking at in Campbell River at $536,300. That is down slightly, $3,000 over last month. And then look at the Comox Valley. It is also down slightly by about $3,000 or $4,000 in both markets. And we have a lot of new townhouses on the market in both areas right now. But I'd have to look at the number of sales to see if we can figure out why that market, the townhouse sector, has dropped in price a little bit. I wanted to let you know Campbell River Road is still on the market for sale. We've had a huge price decrease down to $1,525,000, and it is a steal as far as I am concerned compared to the other 2 properties that are for sale on the river. This is over 3,000 square feet. It's over an acre of property, and it has a little coach house on the property as well. It's beautiful. It needs work. There is definitely some value to be found in this solid construction of this home. I have a new listing on Clarkson Avenue. Now, this is a true handyman special. If you can get in there with some elbow grease and clean up this house, it would be a beautiful rancher, 2-bedroom. There's lots of opportunity. It's half a block from the beach. We're listed at $775,000, and it has a cute little cabin on the property as well. So a little bit of a rental mortgage helper, you could say. Still available is the 10 acres on Lake Trail Road. I had a really good showing the other day. The buyers are not quite sure if they're ready to build a house at this time, but they said that out of everything that they looked at in the Comox Valley, this was the best price and the best looking acreage that they saw. So thank you very much, and hopefully you'll be writing an offer on that property. The 18 acres on Camco Road under the power lines is now sold. And Saratoga Beach, I put that on the market last week. We had an offer immediately. This was a beautiful property. The owners had kept it so well. And yeah, congratulations to the buyers on this property. It sold for $1,025,000. And the customer appreciation day that we had, these were some of my clients that got to take home some of our lovely things. And what I decided to do with my husband was we were going to keep everything as local as we could. Even the beef for the hamburgers was locally sourced. Shore Wolf made us some zucchini bread and some double chocolate brownies that were to die for, delicious. Honey Grove Bakery in Courtney, they provided the hamburger buns, cinnamon buns, and a couple of the delicious cookies. Then Leah at the Clever Crow put together some baskets for me, and we had some draws, and the clients got to take home some beautiful gifts from the Clever Crow, as well as our salad that Penny put together was done at the Clever Crow. And a lot of the pottery that I purchased and we gave away to the clients comes from Penny Etter with White Dog Studios. here in the beautiful Comox Valley area, Merville area. And then I also bought a whole bunch of loaves of bread, and we we gave them away as draws. I kind of just wanted to show my clients how local we can source our food from. And these are the stores and the shops that I tend to buy my gifts at, and all our food here at the house. And it really was a wonderful time. My husband was on the barbecue. He did a phenomenal job cooking all those burgers for everyone. And one of our big draws was a fishing trip with my husband on the last resort. And Jay and Jody are the winners. We gave away 2 draws for the fishing trip with that admin guy, Norm. So that's my market update for August. I hope that you have truly enjoyed your summer. Don't forget, I'm easy to talk to if you'd like to ask any information about your own properties when it comes to real estate, and take care of yourself.